If you're considering moving to Murfreesboro, there are a few things that you need to know about living in Murfreesboro. Some of you are not going to want to live here after you hear this. What's up, y'all? I'm Rachel Hadidsazrealtor. I'm a realtor with eXp in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Look, I love Murfreesboro. It's home to me. There are aspects that I completely love about Murfreesboro, and there are aspects that I just don't love. Either way, there are some aspects about living in Murfreesboro that you should definitely consider before you pack up and move across the country. Awful traffic. Let's face it, the traffic here is awful. A quick trip across town can take me an hour. Now I hear you. If you're coming from a huge city like Chicago or LA, the traffic here is laughable. In fact, it's not traffic to you at all because the cars are still moving. But for most people, 10 minutes to drive 2 miles up the road means there are too many cars on the road. A lot of our traffic problems stem from our city's infrastructure not keeping pace with the rapid growth that we've seen here in Murfreesboro in the past several years. For example, South Murfreesboro is really booming right now, and the city is working really hard to widen New Salem Highway, but there's so much traffic on the road right now because it's only one way each direction. It's been over a year on this project, and there is still more to be done. Memorial Boulevard traffic can be heavy as well, and it causes tons of accidents. And don't even get me started on Church Street. Church Street has a couple of truck stops, and so you not only get the really congested local traffic, but you get these 18-wheelers that need to pull out in the middle of traffic, and there's 7 lanes in that area where the truck stops are on Church Street. As you can imagine, accidents happen there pretty regularly. Lifelong residents of Murfreesboro really notice all the traffic, and they hate it. Though most of Murfreesboro's growth has been relatively recent, and we only continue to grow each year. If you want to hear more about why Murfreesboro is growing so fast, check out this video that I'm going to link in my info card as well as in the description down below. Reckless and clueless drivers. This relates a lot to the traffic, but some of the drivers here can be extreme and sometimes even emotional. And it's not just confined to a particular demographic, it can be anyone. On one hand, you get those drivers that are overly cautious and want to go like 10 or 15 miles an hour under the speed limit. Some drivers are just clueless as to what lane they need to be in at any given time. It's understandable because a lot of our roads can be a little bit confusing on which lane you need to be in to go straight. This is a turning lane only. This is a turning lane that way only. So it's a little bit understandable. Yes, you can completely expect to encounter some extremely aggressive drivers in Murfreesboro. Just about any trip that you make, there is going to be someone that is just aggressively speeding. Y'all, I'm telling you, some of these people drive like they live in Nashville. Like, seriously, there is no reason to be so openly aggressive behind the wheel of a car. And speaking of driving in Nashville, it's only a bit worse than driving in Murfreesboro. Sadly, in the world that we live in nowadays, you just never know who is driving with just these personal emotions, and there have been occasional road rage shootings in the area. I'm not saying that that's a regular occurrence, but just be aware that there are some drivers that are just behind the wheel of a car and they're extremely emotional if you affect their commute in the slightest way. Land ain't cheap. If you're wanting to move to Tennessee because you want a lot of land, but you also want a big shiny house and you're expecting to get all of that for under $500,000, you could be disappointed if you're looking at the Murfreesboro area. You are probably going to have to drive a lot further outside of the city just to get the price that you want. If you've seen my other videos, you know that the cost of living here is pretty reasonable. It's actually pretty average on the national scale, but the land in Rutherford County is getting downright expensive, which is great if you're selling, but if you are trying to buy in this current market, you really need to keep in mind that if you're requesting more land, you might have to compromise on the house. Yes, Murfreesboro does have that small town vibe to it. It just doesn't translate into land being the same price as it would be in a small town. The average 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Murfreesboro, that's about $300,000, or actually just over $300,000 with the latest market. It's not coming with a lot of acreage, probably about 1/4 of an acre. I do wish you luck if you're looking for land in Rutherford County, because even the expensive land is going pretty quickly just due to the rapid growth of our area and the strong local economy. Yes, the city does feel more open than Nashville, but if you want that concept in your backyard, you are going to have to pay a higher dollar amount for that. There is little to no nightlife here. So most cities of our population, about 160,000 people at the 2020 census, would have some sort of a nightlife, right? Murfreesboro doesn't have dance clubs. We do have some breweries and bars. They play live music, they have trivia, and they also have games like cornhole, pool, and darts. You can go to a late night movie. There is nothing loud that's going to keep you up late at night, unless you're going to a campus party or to a party at someone's house. I'm sure you'll definitely see that here since we have a major university as well as a large population of younger people. And for a few days around the 4th of July, you will 100% hear some fireworks at night. But you see, the thing about Murfreesboro is that we're only 30 miles from downtown Nashville, and Nashville has a vibrant downtown nightlife. So most people will just pay like Uber or Lyft, or they'll carpool with someone to get to Nashville, and that way you're not drinking and driving. It is a bit of a drive, so if you plan on drinking, definitely make sure that you have a ride or that you're staying in Nashville for the evening. Now, for a lot of people, the quiet, normal life that Murfreesboro offers is just what they want in a city. If you want to go partying or to a big sporting event, Nashville is just up the road and it offers all of that and more. People in Murfreesboro are generally friendly, and we go to bed early because we get up early for work. We gotta get up early to beat that traffic, remember? If you found any value in this content, please click the like button. It helps other Tennessee dreamers just like you find this video. And subscribe with the bell so that you'll be the first to know when I post a new video. I have so much more to tell you about life and real estate in the Murfreesboro area, so I'll see you at the next video.